Top 5 F1 finishes so far. The 2022 Formula One season underwent the biggest technical changes the sport has ever seen. Bringing ground effect cars back into F1 after they were banned in the 1980s, the hope was that this would deliver closer wheel-to-wheel racing, with it being easier for cars to follow one another. In turn, it was hoped that the new design increases the amount of overtakes while, in hand with the budget cap, leveling the playing field. While it's up for debate whether or not the regulations have delivered on all of their promises, F1 has not been in short supply of enthralling races this season. It could be said that there's yet to be a dull race in 2022, making it difficult to narrow them down. We've done our best though. Here are our 5 best finishes of this current F1 season so far. Number 5. Monaco Grand Prix. Monaco is a track that divides opinion. Some think, with the tightness of the circuit, it's outdated for the modern-day F1 car, but others want it kept for its heritage. While the racing might not be the best at times, to give credit where it's due, this year's Monaco GP was highly entertaining. Leclerc took the pole for his home race, but then wet weather in the Principality changed things completely the next day. Standing water on the track caused the race to be delayed by 1 hour, but it was well worth the wait. Monaco isn't usually known for its wheel-to-wheel racing, yet fans were treated to Esteban Ocon and Lewis Hamilton going neck and neck, Pierre Gasly progressing through the field, while the battle for first was incredibly tight. Although Leclerc seemingly had the race under control, a strategic blunder in the pit stop saw him tumbling down to 4th after Ferrari pitted the Monegasque twice in the space of 4 laps due to changing conditions. Although Leclerc seemingly had the race under control, a strategic blunder in the pit stop saw him tumbling down to 4th after Ferrari pitted the Monegasque twice in the space of 4 laps due to changing conditions. The second stop, however, was a double stack, and so Leclerc lost time behind Carlos Sainz in the pits, while the Spaniard also got held up by the Williams cars on the outlap. This came to Red Bull's aid, who were flawless in strategy, helped by a solid drive from Sergio Perez as he ended up taking victory with his teammate in 3rd. Number 4. Austrian Grand Prix. The fans were treated to yet another classic, and the Red Bull ring delivered incredibly tight racing. It all started in the sprint race, which had an exciting battle between Mick Schumacher and Hamilton for 8th. The Mercedes driver was constantly on the young German's tail, resulting in an incredibly close moment with 4 laps to go, as Hamilton tried to make a move stick around the outside of turn 4 before having to back out to avoid the gravel trap after hard defending from Schumacher. Hamilton then got past the Haas with much more ease heading into turn 4 the following lap, which set F1 up nicely for the next day. That close battle continued into the race, while at the top Leclerc and Verstappen fought it out, with the Ferrari driver having to overtake the pole sitter thrice to win the race. Amid all of that, 5 drivers were all separated within half a second in a battle for 8th on lap 24, which included an elegant double overtake from Norris heading into turn 3. There was also Perez spinning into the gravel on the opening lap after a collision with Russell at turn 4, while to top off all the drama, late on Sainz had an engine blowout just before he was about to make a move on Verstappen for 2nd place. That denied a Ferrari 1-2 in an Austrian GP, which had just about everything. Number 3. British Grand Prix. Silverstone proved to be one of the first true tests of the new regulations, considering it's a fast track with sweeping turns which invites wheel-to-wheel racing. The home crowd didn't go away disappointed with the entertainment and tight racing throughout. The action which took place was some of the most exciting racing that F1 may see all year. Pouncing on his teammate, Sainz took the lead at the restart after Zhou's car flipped upside down, but behind him there was a frantic 10-lap dash for the final podium positions between Leclerc, Hamilton and Perez. When Sainz took the lead, just moments later Perez passed Hamilton for 3rd at Aintree, who then had Leclerc next in his sights. While wheel-to-wheel battling for 2nd, they both went wide at club, which allowed Hamilton to sweep through in one move before he quickly fell out of the top 3 again on the same lap. With a much stronger pace, Perez then distanced himself from the other 2, who were scrapping for 3rd. On lap 48, Hamilton passed Leclerc around the outside of Luffield, then the Ferrari driver took him again in an amazing move around the outside of Copse. But then on the same lap at Stowe, Hamilton used his DRS to get into 3rd, the front runner staying in position for the rest of the race. However, during all of this, Fernando Alonso and Lando Norris were both within a second of the action, waiting on the periphery, ready to pounce if any of them made a mistake. It was an incredibly dramatic way to end what was an enthralling British GP, and one which delivered on every promise of the new regulations. Number 2. Hungarian Grand Prix. The Hungarian GP turned into a special victory for Verstappen, who won from the 5th row while Ferrari wasted yet another opportunity. Although Russell was on the pole, Ferrari had a stronger pace and Leclerc took the lead on lap 31 before extending it to 5 seconds by lap 40. Lap 40 is when it all changed, however, with Ferrari fitting hard tyres onto Leclerc despite prior evidence that the compound clearly wasn't working well in Hungary. It caused Leclerc to struggle, so much so that stint only lasted 15 laps before he'd had enough and decided to pit again. By that point, it was too late. He'd already fallen out of contention for the victory after Verstappen had overtaken him twice with a 360-degree spin in between, while the Mercedes drivers were showing a strong pace. From this point, Verstappen's win was unchallenged, while Hamilton made a late surge into second after overtaking Sainz and then Russell, with Leclerc lingering down in 6th. It was an exciting way to head into the summer break, particularly as the Hungarian isn't traditionally known for its overtaking due to the tightness of the circuit, as well as its many turns. Last year there were only 18 overtakes, but in 2022, with the new regulations, there were 65 in Hungary, showing a significant difference. Number 1. Brazilian Grand Prix. The 2022 Brazilian Grand Prix delivered the best racing, the best action, the best drama, and the best overall weekend of the 2022 Formula One season. It matters not that the championships have already been decided. Brazil is overshadowing all races that came before it, for equally positive and less than fortunate reasons. And it was the rare weekend where the FIA was not at the center of the controversy. Russell led the restart after the crash, which may have caught Hamilton off guard. Verstappen was able to gain enough ground on the pit straight to lunge up the outside of turn 1. Hamilton edged ahead into turn 2 and left very little space for Verstappen on the inside. It appears the stewards got that one right for giving Verstappen a 5-point penalty, as they likely saw from Verstappen's telemetry that he did nothing to avoid contact and perhaps encouraged it. Russell got away clean on the restart and immediately built a 1 second plus gap to Hamilton to keep him out of DRS range. Russell, Hamilton and Sainz finished 1, 2 and 3. It was a tremendous victory for Russell and Mercedes, which has been clawing its way back all season. And it demonstrated that Russell not only belongs in that seat, but that he possesses the pace, awareness, and racecraft to challenge for titles. In the aftermath of an eventful event, Max Verstappen was accused of being selfish and self-centered. In the latter stage of the 2022 Brazilian GP, when Red Bull strategists realized Sergio Perez could not pass Charles Leclerc, they asked Perez to let Verstappen pass. The idea was for Max to overtake Fernando Alonso ahead of him and then fight Charles Leclerc to steal as many points from him as possible. This was to make sure Perez stays ahead of Leclerc in the drivers' standings. However, when Max could not pose much threat to Alonso, they ordered Verstappen to let Chico through so that he could have a few extra points, but the Dutchman defied the team's orders. Thanks for watching this video, we hope you liked it. Don't forget to give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel. We also appreciate your feedback, so don't hesitate to express your thoughts and opinions in the comments section. We'll be back with another amazing video soon. Peace out.